Checking blood pressure at home? Most readings are wrong for this reason. Are you checking your blood pressure at home, but getting readings that seem off? What if the numbers you're tracking and sharing with your doctor are completely inaccurate? Nearly 30% of home blood pressure readings are wrong by 5 points or more, and the consequences can be serious, including unnecessary medications or missed hypertension diagnoses. Research shows that simple positioning mistakes, wrong cuff sizes, and timing errors throw off readings more than most people realize. Your doctor probably told you to monitor at home without explaining that your arm position alone can change readings by up to 23 points. The first mistake I'll reveal affects almost everyone who checks their pressure at home, plus one shocking error at the end that could be making your monitor dangerously inaccurate. Here's what most people don't know about home blood pressure monitoring. The position of your arm during measurement can dramatically change your readings, and almost everyone gets this wrong. Research from the American Medical Association confirms that having the arm lower than heart level can lead to errors ranging from 4 to 23 millimeters of mercury. The mechanism involves basic physics and blood flow dynamics. When your arm is below heart level, gravity pulls blood downward, increasing pressure in the arteries of that arm. This creates a false elevation in your reading that has nothing to do with your actual blood pressure. Here's where it gets really important for accurate monitoring. The middle of the cuff should be positioned at the same level as your heart, which is roughly at the midpoint of your sternum. Most people need to prop their arm on a pillow or cushion to achieve this position. The proper technique involves sitting in a chair with a straight back for support, placing your arm on a table or desk, and using pillows to raise your arm until the cuff sits at heart level. Your palm should face upward, and your arm should be relaxed without any muscle tension. Many people make the critical error of taking home blood pressure readings on a bed or couch without proper back support, allowing their arm to dangle unsupported. This combination of mistakes can inflate readings by 10 to 15 millimeters of mercury or more. While arm position matters tremendously, the second mistake involves the blood pressure cuff itself, and this error affects millions of people with larger or smaller arms. Research published in JAMA Internal Medicine discovered that automated monitors overestimated systolic pressure by 5 to 20 millimeters of mercury when the standard cuff was too small. The mechanism behind cuff size errors involves how the inflated cuff compresses your arm to detect blood flow. If the cuff is too small, it cannot fully compress the artery, requiring higher pressure to get an accurate reading. This translates into falsely elevated numbers on your monitor. Think about the standard cuff that comes with most home monitors. Manufacturers claim these one-size-fits-all cuffs work for arm circumferences ranging from 22 to 42 centimeters. But this wide range creates accuracy problems. Johns Hopkins researchers found that almost 40% of participants were misclassified as hypertensive when using a standard cuff that was actually too small for their arms. Here's what makes this so urgent for accurate diagnosis. A majority of adults with hypertension require large or extra-large cuffs, yet most home monitors come with only standard-size cuffs. This means millions of people are getting falsely high readings that could lead to unnecessary medications. The correct cuff size depends on your upper arm circumference measured at the midpoint between your shoulder and elbow. Measure around your bare upper arm with a tape measure, then consult the sizing chart that should come with your monitor. Most people never measure their arm or check if their cuff size is appropriate. They simply use whatever cuff came with their monitor, assuming it will work correctly. Before we move on, I'd love to know where you're watching from. If this content is helping you understand blood pressure monitoring better, type "great" in the comments or "improve" if it doesn't. And if you're serious about getting accurate readings at home, make sure to subscribe to Knowhow and turn on notifications. The third critical mistake involves what you do in the 30 minutes before checking your blood pressure. Activities like drinking coffee, smoking, exercising, or even having a full bladder can dramatically affect your readings. Research shows that a full bladder alone can increase systolic pressure by up to 33 millimeters of mercury. The mechanism involves how these substances and activities affect your cardiovascular system. Caffeine stimulates your nervous system, causing temporary blood pressure elevation. A full bladder activates your sympathetic nervous system, which constricts blood vessels and increases pressure. Here's the remarkable part about rest time that most people ignore. You need to sit quietly for 5 minutes before taking any readings. This allows your body to return to a resting state, and your blood pressure to stabilize. Most people make the mistake of checking their pressure whenever they happen to think about it throughout the day without any preparation. They might check it right after walking upstairs, or while talking on the phone, or immediately after a stressful situation. The fourth mistake that throws off readings is talking or moving during the measurement itself. Research demonstrates that conversation during measurement can add 10 millimeters of mercury to your systolic reading, even if you're just actively listening rather than speaking. The mechanism involves how talking and movement activate your cardiovascular system. When you speak, you engage respiratory muscles and increase oxygen demand. Your heart rate increases slightly and blood vessels constrict in response. Here's where it gets incredibly important for consistent, accurate monitoring. You should take multiple readings 1 minute apart and average them rather than relying on a single measurement. Blood pressure naturally varies from moment to moment, and averaging multiple readings provides a more accurate picture. The proper technique involves sitting quietly for 5 minutes, taking a reading, waiting exactly 1 minute, taking a second reading, waiting another minute, then taking a third reading. Average these 3 numbers to get your blood pressure for that session. If you're finding this helpful, please take a moment to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps this video reach other people who might be getting inaccurate readings without realizing these common mistakes. The biggest mistake of all is assuming your home blood pressure monitor is accurate without ever validating it. Research from Harvard Health shows that home monitors can be inaccurate in 5% to 15% of patients, and for 30% of people, readings differ by 5 millimeters of mercury or more from professional equipment. The mechanism involves device quality, calibration drift, and wear over time. Not all monitors meet validation standards for accuracy, even when new. Over time, the pressure sensor can drift out of calibration and the cuff bladder can develop slow leaks. Here's what makes this so urgent for proper diagnosis. If your monitor consistently reads 10 millimeters of mercury too high, you might be taking blood pressure medication you don't actually need. If it reads too low, you might have undiagnosed hypertension, putting you at risk for stroke and heart attack. The validation process involves taking simultaneous readings with your home monitor and your doctor's validated equipment. If the readings differ by more than 5 millimeters of mercury consistently, your home monitor needs calibration or replacement. Most people never validate their monitors or check if the device they purchased has been clinically validated. The U.S. blood pressure validated device listing now includes 102 devices that have passed accuracy testing, yet many popular consumer monitors are not on this list. You now understand the critical mistakes that make most home blood pressure readings inaccurate. Position your arm correctly at heart level, supported on a flat surface, using pillows if needed, as research confirms this prevents errors up to 23 millimeters of mercury. Measure your upper arm circumference and use the appropriate cuff size, since wrong cuff size causes errors of 5 to 20 millimeters of mercury or more. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and exercise for 30 minutes before measurement, and empty your bladder. Sit quietly for 5 minutes before measuring and remain silent and still during the reading. Take 3 readings 1 minute apart and average them for the most accurate results. The critical mistakes to avoid include checking pressure without proper preparation, using whatever cuff came with your monitor without verifying size, talking or moving during measurement, and assuming your monitor is accurate without annual validation. Always bring your monitor to doctor appointments for comparison testing. Remember that home blood pressure monitoring supplements, but doesn't replace regular medical care. Consistent, accurate readings help your doctor adjust medications and track your progress, but only if you follow proper technique. If this video helped you understand blood pressure monitoring and avoid measurement errors, please share it with someone who monitors their blood pressure at home. Make sure to subscribe to Knowhow for more evidence-based information about common health monitoring mistakes. Hit that notification bell so you never miss content that can improve your health management. Thanks for watching and trusting me to share this important information about accurate blood pressure monitoring. I'll see you in the next video.